I discovered that 76% of Americans are just one paycheck away from financial disaster, and you might be one of them without even realizing it. Before we start, I need to clarify something important. This isn't about those living in extreme poverty without basic necessities. This is about people in developed countries who appear middle class but are actually hanging by a financial thread. If that makes you uncomfortable, good. Sometimes discomfort is the first step toward change. I'm going to share 12 eye-opening signs you're actually poor, despite what you might think. But first, let me tell you about the most shocking discovery I made while researching this video. People who show all these signs often still believe they're doing just fine. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's get through the 12 signs. Sign number 12. You couldn't survive 3 months without an income. If you stopped working today, how long could you maintain your current lifestyle? 1 year? 6 months? 1 month? Less? If the answer is less than 3 months, you're financially vulnerable. This isn't about how much you make, whether it's $60,000 or $600,000. It's about what you've built with that money. The hard truth is that your economic stability is fragile. A single medical emergency, car breakdown, or job loss could devastate you completely. The solution? Calculate your monthly expenses and save at least 3 months' worth. Or better yet, create secondary income streams that don't depend on your ability to work. Rental properties, royalties, or passive investments. I'll reveal the most reliable secondary income source later in this video. But first, let's look at something that's literally stealing your life away. Sign number 11. Your commute exceeds 1 hour each way. Time is money isn't just a saying, it's a fundamental truth the wealthy understand deeply. If you spend 2 hours daily commuting, that's 10 hours weekly and 520 hours yearly. That's 21 full days, nearly a month of your life, sitting in traffic every single year. Think about that. While you're stuck listening to the same 10 songs on repeat, wealthy people are using those 21 days to get even wealthier. They're investing, learning, networking, or building businesses while you're inching forward in traffic, getting frustrated at drivers who don't use turn signals. Moving closer to work might seem expensive up front, but what's the real cost of losing a month of your life every year? Sign number 10. You regularly struggle with bills. This one's straightforward. If you've ever had utilities cut off, not enough credit for a phone call, anxiety about upcoming bills, you're poor. Full stop. Even celebrities fall into this trap. Remember Nicolas Cage? At one point, he was earning over $40 million a year, but due to outrageous spending, like buying 15 homes, a private island, dinosaur skulls, and a haunted mansion, he ended up owing the IRS over $6 million in property taxes. He had to sell off assets and take on a string of movie roles just to stay afloat. How does this happen? Usually it's a combination of 1. Working a low-paying job because you haven't developed valuable skills. 2. Spending money on status symbols instead of assets. How many people do you know with expensive phones but no emergency fund? Or fancy cars while still living with parents? I'll be addressing how to develop high-income skills later, but first, let's talk about something that's quietly draining your wallet. Sign number 9. You buy things just because they're on sale. There's nothing wrong with being budget conscious, but here's the shocking truth that changed my financial life forever. Nobody ever became wealthy by saving money alone. The wealthy focus on increasing income and using money to make more money. They don't get excited about great deals on things they don't need. When you buy something unnecessary just because it's 50% off, you're not saving 50%, you're spending 100% more than you needed to. And guess what? The store is still making a profit on that massive discount. Remember when I mentioned secondary income sources? This is where that money should be going, not toward bargain bin items that clutter your home. Sign number 8. Fast food is your regular dinner. Your body is the machine that powers your entire life. The fuel matters tremendously. When you consistently choose fast food, you're sabotaging your energy levels, your decision-making ability, your long-term health, your productivity. It's no coincidence that wealthy people live longer than poor people. They understand that nutrition is an investment, not an expense. Learning to cook isn't just about saving money. It's about investing in your most valuable asset, yourself. Sign number 7. You had to deny your child a reasonably priced toy. This isn't about spoiling kids, it's about having enough resources to provide simple joys. If you've been in a situation where your child wanted a normal, reasonably priced toy and you simply couldn't afford it, that's a painful reality check. As parents, we want our children to experience happiness. When financial limitations prevent that, it should be heartbreaking enough to motivate change. Remember that shocking statistic I mentioned at the beginning? About 76% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck? Many of them are parents who regularly experience this exact situation. Sign number 6. You're worried your financial situation will limit your children's success. This hits home for many struggling parents. If you fear your current circumstances will negatively impact your child's future opportunities, you're recognizing your financial vulnerability. The most haunting question for many parents is, am I doing enough to give my child a fair shot at success? You want your children to have better opportunities than you did. The constant worry that you're failing them in this regard is a clear indicator that your financial foundation isn't solid. You know how I mentioned those 21 days lost to commuting earlier? Imagine what building a business or learning a valuable skill during that time could mean for your children's future. Sign number 5, you routinely spend money before you earn it. This single habit is perhaps the biggest reason poor people stay poor. When you're constantly paying off old debts, you can never gain momentum. Credit cards, buy now, pay later services, and loans create an illusion of wealth while actually making you poorer with each purchase. How many times have you heard someone say, "If I could just get ahead," and then watch them buy the latest smartphone on credit? Here's the brutal truth. When you use credit for non-essential purchases, you're selling your future time and energy to companies that profit from your poor decisions. They literally own your future hours until you pay them back with interest. Sign number 4, your car is over 8 years old. This isn't about status symbols, it's about safety, reliability, and the hidden costs of outdated transportation. Older vehicles require constant maintenance, are less fuel efficient, and don't provide modern safety features that could save your life. That said, if you're showing other signs on this list, don't rush to buy a new car. Your vehicle is an expense, not an asset, unless you're a rideshare driver. Fix your mindset and income first, then upgrade your transportation. But recognize that relying on an ancient, unreliable vehicle is a sign your finances aren't where they should be. Sign number 3, you rely on the government for retirement. This might be controversial, but it needs to be said. Expecting politicians or government programs to secure your financial future is a massive mistake. Social Security was never designed to be your primary retirement income. It was created as a safety net, not a hammock. The harsh reality? Politicians and governments deal with the masses. Your individual financial well-being is ultimately your responsibility. The rules of the game will change. Politicians will come and go. Your financial independence should never depend on either. Sign number 2, you have an addiction. A rich person is a free person. If something controls you, whether it's cigarettes, alcohol, gambling, or even shopping, you're not truly free. Addictions don't just drain your wallet. They rob you of your most precious resource, time. The wealthy understand that longevity equals more time to enjoy life and create impact. It's well documented that poor people have shorter lifespans than the wealthy. While many factors contribute to this, addictive behaviors play a significant role. When something controls your decisions and actions, you've surrendered your freedom, and without freedom, even a millionaire is poor. Sign number 1, you don't have a loving support system. Finally, the most important sign isn't financial at all. If you don't have people who truly care about you, who support and believe in you, you're experiencing the worst kind of poverty. All the money in the world means nothing if you don't have quality time with loved ones. You sleep alone without someone who loves you. Nobody has your back when life gets hard. Having people who genuinely care about your well-being and success is the greatest form of wealth. If your parents are still alive, if you have a partner who loves you, if your children want to spend time with you, you're rich in ways that matter most. Remember at the beginning I said people showing these signs often still think they're doing fine? That's because they're measuring wealth in dollars rather than security, freedom, and love. Now that you've seen these 12 signs, how many apply to you? Be honest with yourself. This isn't about shame, it's about awareness. You can't fix problems you don't acknowledge. And the good news is that every single one of these signs is fixable with the right mindset and actions. Remember when I mentioned the most reliable secondary income source? It's you. Investing in your skills, your knowledge, and your ability to provide value to the marketplace will always generate the highest returns. Being born poor is a circumstance. Dying poor is a choice. Make the right one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.